Okay, have and have not fans. And first off, let me just say that I am blown away. And I don't usually do this in my videos, but I have to say I am blown away. Over the past not even 3 days, my have and have not Facebook page has crossed over 4,000 likes. So it's gotten over 200 new likes in the past, not even a week. And I just got to give it up to you all. I cannot thank you enough for the support on this YouTube channel because again, over the past basically ever since Tuesday night when I started doing more videos, I've gotten over almost 200 new subscribers. I'm about to hit 1,000 subscribers pretty soon because again, when I first started this channel, I was skeptical because I've done nothing but blogging. So the transition from blog to video was a bit shaky for me because I didn't know if I would be accepted. I didn't know if people would actually transition over from the blog to the YouTube channel because I didn't know what people would think. I feel so blessed right now that enough people have just been blowing up my channel recently. The comments have been great, like just even the notes like, great job, JC, keep it up. I love your videos. Those things just mean so much to me because again, I just take my time to do these videos. I remember a time when I had like maybe a couple hundred subscribers and I tried my best to make as quality videos as I could. Like I made videos like if I had 100,000 subscribers, if I had 1,000,000 subscribers, I try to be as in depth as possible. I try to make it worthwhile. I try to make it, when you click the play button, I try to make it so these videos are worth your time, especially if you're a have and have not fan, because I could have easily done, and again, this isn't knocking other channels, but I could have easily done with a lot of other people are doing with TV shows and just sat here behind a microphone and just talked about, hey, here are my thoughts on the episode in terms of like, the review itself, hey, here's a recap of what happened. I've always been a person who I watch a TV show and when I talk about other people, I go in depth in terms of, hey, did you see how that character changed from one episode to the next? Or, hey, did you notice that little Easter egg right there and how that might influence a future plot point? So the fact that I'm just getting a lot of these comments and tweets, it's just really encouraging because honestly, before the haves and the have-nots came on Tuesday, I've just been going through a lot of stuff recently in life and just work and everything, just frustrated. Like I haven't been moving up in life. I finished college, but I'm still in the same place I was 3 years ago, ironically enough, when the haves and the have not started. And I just felt like just so frustrated. Like, what was the point of doing this YouTube thing? It's like I'm not making any money from it. I'm not even at like 1,000 subscribers yet. And it's like all this little stuff. And then to see like one video I did on Wednesday, which was the what is Mama Rose's plan video, just blow up to over 4,000 views in less than a day. Again, that might not mean a lot to a lot of people on YouTube who are used to getting, 6-7 digit views. But to me, that was just a huge like slap in the face. Like, dude, just keep doing what you're doing and eventually it's going to pay off. Maybe not monetarily, but just the fact that cast members of the show, viewers of the show support what I do. I can't thank you enough. So I want to stop rambling here. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much because again, at the rate it's going, I estimate by maybe the end of this weekend, I might be at 1,000 subscribers and that's just going to blow me away. So again, thank you so much. So let me get into the theme of this particular video. And again, not to just keep on gushing about how awesome you guys are, but I've just noticed that since there's been more channel activity now on my videos, people leaving comments on my have and have not Facebook page, my Twitter, in the comment section of the videos below. What I love is that you're looking at the videos, you're listening, but then you're making a comment like, hey, Jeremy, can you do a video on this? And I'm just like, hey, that's a great idea. Because in the video I did about Mama Rose, I talked about Jennifer's body. I thought I was like, hey, I'm going to do another video on it, but you know what? Let me just throw this information in here. Somebody left a comment, do a video on Jennifer's body. I'm like, well, I kind of threw it in there. It's like all I can think of in terms of what to talk about is like what Jennifer's death means for the plot. Because, well, remember that she was the one who was, continuing investigating Amanda's death because she figured it wasn't a suicide but a homicide. And she's like, yeah, do a video on that. So thank you for that thought. So this video is going to be about what Jennifer's death as well as her body will do maybe for the plot now. And again, I actually touched on this subject in another video I did. I just want to say, I try not to say I told you so, even though this is like a theory channel, but I remember doing a video over a year ago about, it was one of my first have and have not videos actually, was Amanda's death a homicide instead of a suicide. I got a lot of backlash on that video because people were like, shut up, man, leave it alone. Amanda's dead, just forget about it, she's gone. And I said, well, you know what? You think what you want to think, but honestly, the way her death went down, I don't think it was a suicide. It was a homicide. And people were just, every time I did even mention, even if I breathed the name Amanda in a video or blog, people were like, man, you're thinking too much. And then we got the episode where David went over to Jennifer's office to try to get us meeting with Jim. And then she pulled out the photos about, hey, you know what? Look at the blood splatter on the wall. That wasn't a suicide. And I'm just like, thank you, Jennifer. And that's why I got pissed off when she got killed, because every time I start to feel something or like one of these characters that are female to get killed off. Same thing with Maggie Day, but that's another story. So in the little icon tab on the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see a little eye. If you click on that, you'll see like a little list of videos. In there, I'm going to include the link for the Mama Rose video I was talking about, as well as 2 other videos I did. One about, was Amanda's death a homicide, suicide, as well as who killed Amanda. And again, I go over this entire suspect list, the biggest ones being Professor Cannon, Quincy, Celine, Carlos. So again, that's another video, or videos I think you should check out. I know one of those videos is probably like 30-40 minutes. So I think it's the Amanda one, because I went in depth. So again, I actually went into a lot of detail on this video topic in the Mama Rose video, so you definitely want to check that out as well. But the biggest thing here is, remember that David was the only person that Jennifer told about the whole, thinking that Amanda's death was a homicide, not a suicide. So the fact that Jennifer's dead and David knows about the whole, Amanda situation maybe not being a suicide, the question is, kind of like a JR whodunit from that show Dallas. So the question is, when will that plot point be revisited? And again, Tyler Perry has this trend about introducing plot points and not fulfilling those plot points until later on in the series. So it might be damn well 3 seasons from now when David finally brings out the whole, well, Jennifer was investigating your daughter's death, Jim. He'll be like, what? So I imagine that when Jennifer's body comes back into play with what Mama Rose's plan is doing. And again, shout out to, I need to start writing these names down, so whenever a fan gives me a great video idea or points something out to me, I can just give them a shout out in the video. But for now, give a shout out to somebody on Facebook. It was on my Have and Have Not page. Actually, it was in the video I did with Mama Rose and Jennifer's body. There was a picture we saw where Jennifer's body is wrapped up in that plastic and had a sign on it. It said Jennifer Salison, then it had crier, and then there was a flash on the screen, so I couldn't read the second word. Somebody pointed out to me that it said Jennifer Salison, and then the second line said crier victim. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. So again, shout out to pointing that out to me. So the question is, with Jennifer's body, allegedly going to be put into Warlock's trunk, and then Mama Rose going over to his his turf to shoot it up and everything. The question is, when Jennifer's body is discovered, when the Malones put the body in the trunk, will the sign still say crier victim, or will she still keep the sign on there? Because again, it seems like, Jim is trying to stop her from doing what she's doing to Warlock. So, because again, remember, the plan was to have Jennifer's body planted at her house, have one of those ex-cons that she put away, who recently got released, work at a dry cleaners that was secretly owned by the Malones, have him bring over, Jennifer's laundry to her house and then set it on fire. One of the Malones was set it on fire through arson to make it look like the ex-con was the one to do it, and then he's the one in jail, and Katheryn and the Criers get all scot-free because, oh, this guy was the one to kill Jennifer because he had an agenda and her body was found at her house. That's not going to be the case now. So Jim is kind of freaking out about that. So if Mama Rose feels like, Jim is getting in the way of her getting revenge for her grandson being shot at, I feel like she's going to be, screw Jim, we're going to throw this body in Warlock's trunk and make it seem like Warlock was working for Jim when he killed Jennifer, or, maybe Katheryn or whatever. Because remember, if it's discovered that it was because of Jim that Warlock got out of jail, it would make sense. Because remember, Jennifer arrested the Criers on live television because, that's when Jim got on stage. He was supposed to announce he was canceling his running for governor, but he, pretty much said, what, I'm going to keep going for it. And then the people were behind him. Then the second he got off stage, David, Katheryn, Veronica, they were all arrested by Jennifer, and everybody was like, what the heck is going on? So most people find it as a revenge ploy. It's like, you know what? Because Jennifer arrested Jim on live TV, he got thrown in jail, then he got out, then he released this guy, who was a gangbanger, drugs and everything, to kill Jennifer for him, and then have, have the body in the trunk. So then Jim is screwed. So again, I feel like if Jim tries to cross Mama Rose, then things are not going to go too well. And that's why Jennifer's body is going to come into play. Now, the biggest thing aside from that is the whole, when will the whole Amanda homicide come into play? I really don't know at this point. I feel that maybe after the whole Mama Rose Warlock plot ends, I feel like David might bring it up. And again, even though Jennifer was the one investigating it, that's not to say she didn't have other officers looking into the situation as well. So I really am excited to see what's going to happen next. It's just like, I just don't want to wait for it. That doesn't mean like I can't wait until next Tuesday. I just feel like this is going to be a plot point that's not going to be visited again for quite some time. Because remember, Amanda was found dead at the beginning of season 3. And are we in like, is it the season 5, season 6? Well, whatever. It's been over a season and a half. And it was finally revealed that somebody in the police department, Jennifer, felt like it wasn't a suicide but a homicide. So there's no telling when that plot point is going to be revisited again. So I really can't wait to see what happens with that, because I don't imagine David bringing that up right now, because Jim and Katheryn are going through a lot as it is with Wyatt, as well as their divorce that's about to go down. So I don't think throwing another wrench into the equation of hey, your daughter was possibly killed by somebody, because again, it could have been Celine, because you think about it, she said like, we're not even, Jim, we're not even. And we haven't even seen her since, after Jim went over there to have sex, just to show how pathetic she is. So we haven't seen Celine in quite some time. Now, and don't even get me started on Tony and the kidney situation. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to go down. A lot of characters we haven't seen in some time making a reappearance. So I definitely urge you, if you haven't done so already, take some time to look at the videos that are in the sidebar here about Amanda's death being a homicide or suicide, who shot Amanda, the Mama Rose episode, because again, I really go into detail in those videos. So again, thank you for helping my channel grow. And again, please subscribe, leave your comments and thoughts below, share this, because again, I want to make sure that as many have and have not fans are aware of this channel as possible, because the more people involved, the more people who subscribe, like the videos, and comment actually gives me that fuel to keep on making these videos. So again, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.